I was told that I should be wearing, we normally wear our other pen, the M-State pen, but I thought in lieu of last night's late night victory by the Bulldogs, I'd wear the M over S, right? So I'm kind of used to wearing the M over S. We're here to introduce you to our new golf coach, and I want to welcome a few folks here. His lovely wife, Janie, is with Ella right over here. And they have some family here. Rick Causey is here along with John Bean, who of course is one of our local restaurateurs and had a great recommendation for Dusty several months ago. John, you did a great job, but I think his qualifications stood alone when you called. But great for him to have family here. Mr. George Bryan, is George in the house? Mr. George Bryan's here. Several folks been involved in this process. We've included a lot of people who've given us tremendous information. The Bryan family, of course, Jared Binko led our search. And I really want to reach out to Clay Holman. I don't know if Clay is in the house or not today, but Clay certainly did a great job as our golf coach here, was really involved. The most impressive thing about Clay is how much he wants our golf program to succeed. And I know he's been very much on board with Dusty throughout this process. I want to tell you how blessed and honored we are to have two of the great golf courses, not only in the Southeast, but in the United States as part of our facilities here at Mississippi State. Just privileged to have Old Waverly and Mossy Oak. And again, privileged that the Bryan family has been so instrumental in those facilities that we have at Mississippi State that are among the very best in the country. Ginger's in the house, our women's golf coach, Ginger Brown-Lem. Ginger has done a really good job of being a part of this process and offering us information. She's been able to reach the far corners of this country and give us tremendous information about the golf world. We have some of the members of our golf team here, I understand, today. We appreciate you guys coming to see us. Every time I hear an athletic director talk about somebody they're about to hire, they talk about the exhaustive research and the amount of people they talk to, and we certainly did that, again, with Jared's help, among others. But what I have found is there's an incredible crop of outstanding golf coach candidates in our country right now. It's pretty amazing. And what was even more amazing to me is the interest level that our golf program had reached. And I think that's incredibly exciting because of our facilities, because of the history of our athletic department, because we have a great community, and because of the Mississippi State family. So just really exciting. But I want to tell you some things about Dusty that we found out. Obviously, Dusty was a great player at Lamar and was part of championship seasons at Lamar. He was part of championship seasons, of course, at Vanderbilt University. He has been a semifinalist for the Assistant Coach of the Year. We were really looking for in this process somebody who could instruct, somebody who was great with a team, but somebody who really understood the recruiting process. And in Dusty Smith, we feel like we have found our man. When Dusty got to Vanderbilt University, their golf team was ranked 75th in the country, which is pretty remarkable when you consider this year, for a good portion of the year, Vanderbilt golf has been ranked number 1 in the nation. He helped guide Vanderbilt to 4 straight NCAA appearances and 3 straight NCAA match play top 8 appearances. Vanderbilt University is the only team in the SEC that can say that. This season, he spearheaded Vanderbilt to its first SEC championship. And all of you know how difficult it is to win an SEC championship in any sport in the Southeastern Conference. In some respects, I've heard many coaches say it's more difficult to win an SEC championship than to win a national championship. I don't know about that one. But I can tell you that winning this league is a tremendous honor. His entire assistant coaching staff, during his coaching career, he has coached 7 All-Americans and 24 All-Conference selections and 4 first-team All-Americans at Vanderbilt alone. Vanderbilt had 3 consecutive top 5 finishes in the national rankings, including a number 1 ranking this year for the first time ever. And when it came down to it, we were looking for somebody who would give us a tremendous effort, a tremendous work ethic, somebody who had integrity, somebody who had player development skills, somebody who had recruiting skills, and again, somebody who would be part of this special family here at Mississippi State. And again, in Dusty Smith and his family, we feel like we have, not feel like, we know we have found that man. So please, I want to welcome Mr. Dusty Smith to the podium here. As you all know, when we bring in a new member of the family, we have to give them a cowbell, and they're going to give it that initial ring. So, Dusty, here you go.
Hail State. Those things are loud. And I've been wanting to do that for a while. Let me get situated. Okay. First and foremost, I need to thank everybody who's here. I'm truly honored to be the next head men's golf coach at Mississippi State. I need to thank Athletic Director John Cohen for believing in me and the vision of Mississippi State golf. It's been a pleasure getting to know John and his wife Nell, and we look forward to many years ahead. I need to thank Scott Limbaugh, who's the head men's golf coach at Vanderbilt University. 6 years ago, Scott Limbaugh took a chance on me, and he decided to keep me at a place that I wanted to be in Vanderbilt. He's my mentor, and he's a great friend. I feel lucky to have worked alongside the best college golf coach in the country. I've learned so much from him over the years, and I'm very thankful that he gave me that chance. To every player I have coached at Vanderbilt, thank you. Coaches can mentor, they can coach, they can create the environment, but at the end of the day, it's the players that have to go out there and execute, and it's the players that create these opportunities. I love each and every one of you and can't thank you enough. When I found out this job was coming open, I knew from the get-go that I wanted to be a Bulldog. My first trip to Starkville validated every thought I had about the Starkville community and the Mississippi State family. My wife and I met with several people throughout the interview process, and I want to thank and recognize them for how they treated us and how they made State feel like home. Jared Benko, Mr. Bryan, Scott Weatherby, Ginger Lynn Brown, Bobby Tomlinson, Bo Hemphill, Christine Jackson, Beth Hopper, Leah Beasley, Rhett Hobar, and obviously John and Nell Cohen. Thank you guys so much, and I'm looking forward to all the other people that I'm about to meet. Lastly, I need to thank my wife, Janie. I'm not sure she knew what she was getting into when she married me. She's always believed in me and has been my number one fan through thick and thin. It is not easy to leave a city, a job that she loves, and friends that she's so familiar with. Thanks for believing, and thanks for always supporting me. I received some great advice early on from my former boss, Scott Limbaugh, while I was at Vanderbilt. And he told me to never take a job if I didn't think I could spend the rest of my career there. So I was very patient with this opportunity. When we interviewed for the position, I knew we wanted to be at Mississippi State for the long haul. I have a vision and a dream to build Mississippi State men's golf into a championship program. It is not about having good teams. I feel like anyone can luck into having good teams every couple of years. This is about building a program that all will be proud of, from alumni to boosters, to staff, to current players. It is about building something that people want to be a part of and want to come back years later and say, I played golf for Mississippi State. During my interview, I told everyone that the facilities at Mississippi State with Old Waverly, Mossy Oak, and the Barn were the best kept secret in the United States. Those facilities in Mississippi State golf will be a secret no longer. We will recruit players who fit the coaching staff, who want to be pushed, who want to be excellent in everything they do. With that mindset and the resources at Mississippi State, the sky is the limit. We can't wait to put our heads down and get to work. At the end of the day, you don't talk about championships, you go to work. You wake up every day with a championship mindset and a championship lifestyle. Thanks again for coming, and Hail State.
Members of the media, if you have any questions, we'll get a mic to you.
Coach, welcome. Your predecessor, Clay Homan, said in the past that the time to win big at State in men's golf is now. So what does it take in this program to make that jump? What's the first step?
I mean, I think the first step is obviously recruiting. I kind of have three little steps. You got recruiting, player development, and just creating a competitive culture. So obviously, I feel like the best teams out there they're recruiting the hardest and they're getting the best talent, and that's something that I want to do. I want to create relationships with all the coaches locally, but I want the brand, the Mississippi State brand, to get out there, not just around the Southeast, but everywhere. I feel like I said earlier, you look at the facilities that we have, and you look at the resources here at State, and there's no reason why this can't be a championship program. With that said, you got to have the right mindset and the right culture to do that, and that's what I plan on doing.
Gene Swindoll, Gene's page. What did you learn at Vanderbilt that you could carry over here to help you build the same kind of program here?
Yeah, that's a good question. Number one, I learned that the current players, they need to know that you love them, and they need to know that you care about them. And when they have that, they're going to be willing to be pushed. So I feel like coming into this program, I feel like that's the number one thing I need to do. I need to get to know our current players, and then we just got to create an atmosphere, a competitive atmosphere. The only way you get better is to compete in everything you do. I'm a firm believer in that. You gotta go out and you gotta go to work. You gotta compete, whether it's in qualifying, in the classroom, in the weight room. You just have to compete. That's the only way to get better is by playing golf, by winning your qualifiers, by winning your tournaments, just competing all the time, and that's going to breed success.
Welcome to town. Is this on? There we go. I was curious, you talk a lot about recruiting. Just from your perspective, what type of players are you looking for? What kind of guys you want to bring to Mississippi State?
I want to bring, first and foremost, high character guys. I think when you get to you can find talented guys all over the United States. I feel like when it comes to crunch time, when it comes to postseason, it's the guys who have high character, who are tough, who are disciplined, who are gritty, that are going to push your team over the edge, that are going to help your team win championships. I feel like anybody can go out there. You can have talented guys who work some here and there, but if they're not all in to the culture we're going to bring at Mississippi State, ultimately you're not going to be very successful. So I want to recruit high character guys who are disciplined, who want to work, and who want to win championships. I want guys who are going to get lost in our process. We're not going to, like I said earlier, it's easy to sit up here and say, we're going to win the SEC championship and national championships, but that stuff doesn't just happen. It starts by doing the little things correctly. And we're going to focus on what we can control, and we're going to focus on the little things, and that's how we're going to build this culture.
Got another question. I know Ginger has been really successful here, Ginger Brown Williams. What were some things that she told you about the program you really like here and as another golf coach?
Number one, it was the facilities, and she's done a heck of a job. I've tried to pick her brain on how she turned the program around. They've done a heck of a job turning it around, but just from facilities and really just getting out there and going to work as far as recruiting. I know they go, the women's program, they're going everywhere to find players. And once you get that Mississippi State brand out there, all of a sudden you get an email from a 2020 recruit or a 2019 recruit, and that's kind of how it starts happening.
And unless somebody wants to ask another question, I have one more.
Go ahead.
How do you get the Mississippi State brand out there? Because even you came in, you felt like the facilities and everything about Mississippi State was a secret. How are you going to get that out?
Recruit. I mean, you gotta go to all the tournaments. Like I said, the way we did it at Vanderbilt, because it was a very similar situation when we took over at Vanderbilt. We would go to tournaments, and we may only have one kid in the field that we're watching, but at the time, it didn't matter to us. All that mattered to us was, hey, we're going to watch that one kid, but all these other younger kids who have never thought about Vanderbilt, they're going to start seeing us. And when they start seeing, when we're the first ones on the driving range in the morning, when we're the last ones to leave, they're going to start seeing that brand, and they're going to start becoming interested. Hosting camps too. Yeah, that's right.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, guys.